Hello, it's Classy here back with another Tribes video, and today I will be doing a full account showcase because I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. And I've definitely come a long way since I first started this game. I've been playing for about 1.5 years. So if we check the challenges and go to main, it should tell you how many times I've logged in. So I've logged in 435 times since the game was released, so that's definitely a very long time, over a year. And let's get right into it. So we'll be going through all of my strongest units, why they're important, why I upgraded them, and where I use them. And at the top, it's actually not Pain anymore. My strongest unit right now is Daedra Sublime, because I did upgrade him for frames a while back, and that involved me using some awakening scrolls and stuff. Although that probably wasn't the smartest idea, that did allow him to get really strong. And then when I 6-starred him recently, I took back the #1 spot, and that allowed me to get him to 77,000 power, which is a lot. So still a really great unit, and I'm still using him. Of course, there's a lot of AoE units right now, and his vitality isn't the best one. It's the 3-chain attack, which isn't too good. But the 3-chain attack is definitely better in Ninja World Tournament, where I am using him alongside Tsunade for the extra chakra, the boosts, and also tank to protect him. So he's actually really great in Ninja World Tournament and can deal a lot of damage. Same thing for other AoE units. So if you have any strong ones like mine, you can still make use of them. Next up is Pain, who used to be my main carry way back in the day when, no power creep was introduced, and he was really good. I also put awakening scrolls in him for the frame. Again, probably not the smartest idea, but that was back in like season 5, and he was the character I got my first rainbow frame on, so that's why he's important to my account. And you can still use him for the Akatsuki tribe, and I use him in Abyss sometimes when I want to take out some tanks, but besides that I don't use him too often. Maybe in like my power team or something, but yeah, definitely don't use him in PvP anymore besides that, because there are just a lot of better units, and his kit just can't compare to other T units anymore. He still does a lot of cool things, but not as much as the other units. Next up is KCM. Everybody knows why KCM is so broken. He has so many effects. He has Insta-Jutsu in 2 forms, and he just helps your team out in so many different ways that I can't even describe them all right now. If you go and read his effects, they're just a mouthful. So obviously you want this guy to be one of your strongest units. You want to get him up to 6 stars and fully max him out, because he'll be used in every single mode and he'll never be bad. So that's why we want to have KCM upgraded. That's why he's my 3rd strongest unit. Next up is Kid Sasuke. So I also got this character's frame when he first came out, and I was interested because of his chakra generation, and he seemed like a pretty strong unit, with support for his allies as an A unit, and also a stun. The vitality does hurt him a little bit, but he can still be used in PvP modes, so that's where I'm using him right now in Ninja World Tournament. And Arena, I don't remember if I have him, but I used to have him. And I have him 6 stars as well. I did really well during his event, so that allowed me to get a lot of fragments. Next up is Sasori. So thanks to the Shinobi Genealogy Tales, I was able to get more 6-star URs, and Sasori was one of the units that I built all the way from 1 star to 6 stars. So it's definitely possible if you just grind it out. I usually don't recommend it though. If you have a 1-star unit and then you get a bunch of their fragments from their like PvE event, you probably want to save him at 1 star until you can randomly pull him from a free single or free multi, and that way you can save on a lot of frags and not waste them. But at the time, Sasori was really good. He's still really good in combination with Santa Naruto because he applies effects when the enemies are already inflicted with a status effect, and Santa Naruto has a 100% chance to inflict a confusion status effect on all active enemies, so that's why the combo works so well. He also has a great vitality for tank, the Insta 5k, so a really great PvP unit. And for FG you can also use him because sometimes you want to place some 5k units in the Spirit Cell, but most of the time you don't want to use him for PvE. So definitely still really strong in my account. That's why I 6-starred him, because I'm still using him and a lot of people still are. And also I got his friend even though I started at a 1 star, so it's possible to do that as well. Next up is basically the newest unit besides KLM, Ito Madara. I also ended up 6-starring him. He's really cool with his art, and Madara is just such a cool character in the anime and such a powerful character. So I'm glad that they made this character very strong in game as well. So I did make a tier list update video with him, but we've updated the tier list even more and he got even better for Ninja World Tournament and Ninja Arena. So I'm using him in both. He's especially strong in Ninja World Tournament because of how he interacts with a single cell. He just provides so many buffs and he'll make that cell really hard to kill. So that's why he can also be used in Abyss as well. So I'm actually using him in all 3 places right now. It kind of depends on your account for the PvE stuff, of course, but definitely use this guy in PvP. He has a great vitality also, and you'll notice that a lot of the units I am using in PvP do have initial chakra vitalities just because that's just better for PvP purposes, especially Ninja Arena, as you need that early chakra to gain early jutsu, and then early jutsu leads to early kills or stuns. So Madara is also great. Next up is Kid Naruto. I'm pretty disappointed that I don't have him 6 stars yet. Like, everyone has him 6 or 7. I'm working on it right now, but the reason I don't have him at 6 is because during that anniversary event where we're given all of those Naruto fragments and the Kid Naruto fragments, I only got him at 1 star and I never pulled him. I only pulled Sasuke. So that basically caused me to miss out on a lot of frags because I had to build them up from 1 star. So again, if you have the time to wait, you probably don't want to build the units up from 1 star, and you want to wait until you can pull them first at 3 or 4 and then upgrade from there to save up. But I did it anyways because he's such a great tank, one of the strongest tanks in the game right now, really good at protecting your most important pieces like Sai. So that's why you want to use him. Really great for any mode where you need some tanks. So basically everything but FG ATB. Next up is Seijiro Jiraiya. He's like that OG super strong tank. He has the self-heal, the AoE stun and burn. So he used to be really strong. He's still really good. And again, all the modes where you can use a tank. But White Mask was introduced, and White Mask does things better than he does in most cases, so you might want to use White Mask instead if you can build him up. But I don't have White Mask upgraded at all. I think I only pulled him at 3 after his banners, so that's why I'm using Seijiro Jiraiya instead. Very similar units, and he's still really great. So putting him on my team still. Santa Naruto, I don't have too much to say about this character. He was a limited edition unit that you could farm up during the Rene Festival event. If you have him, you know why he's so broken. The AoE Confuse, the initial 5k vitality, he does great damage, he boosts his own damage, and he has a cool theme, like transforming into the Centerfold. So overall, this unit just has a great theme and it's really great in game. Everyone has 7-starred him from the event. They've also been upgrading his weapon awakening, which I've been doing as well, so that's why he's pretty strong as an SR. And yeah, definitely want to use this guy in PvP modes and maybe FG. Next up is Kieran. He used to be, one of the OG AoE stunners, and he had great debuffs and some pretty good attack buffs for himself. Nowadays, he's overshadowed by other T units, but he is part of the Commander of Heavy tribe, so that's why I've upgraded him to 5 stars. I am using that tribe for Abyss because, as you saw above, my Narukage is only at 1 star, so I really don't want to unlock him right now, or else I'll only be able to get a 4-star Narukage, and I really want to get him to 5 or 6 instead, alongside my kid Naruto, and that way I can use the Path to Hokage tribe. So in the meantime, I'm using Commander of Heavy tribe, and Kieran is the main part of that. He's the UR, so his stats matter a lot. That's why I've upgraded him. I used to use him in PvP, and also I used to use him in FG, but don't do that anymore. Kakashi, really not too much to say. Kakashi is one of the best units in the game still. The insta-jutsu, the stun, the amazing damage, even though he's not power creep. So he's just a timeless unit. I don't think he'll ever be bad, and the devs probably realized their mistake with the insta-jutsu thing, so they try not to use that too often. But yeah, he's great, and he's just so good as a nuker. So I use him in all the PvP modes and FG as well, because you like that turn 1 jutsu. A Narukage, he was a really interesting unit when he came out, provided great support to your cells and your A units especially, so you can still use him for modes like FG and ATB if you need replacements, because he does provide some decent offensive support. But besides that, not that good anymore. He is an SR also, so this unit has definitely fallen off, but he used to be really strong at the time, and a great support unit as an A unit, and he did good damage as well. UR Heavy, another one of those timeless units like Kakashi. He has the skill 2 stun, then he has his Chidori Sharp Spear Jutsu, which does a ton of damage still, and he's a revenge unit, so he just keeps getting stronger and stunning more and dealing really crazy crit damage. So I use him in every mode, and he's really great, very versatile. You'll never go wrong with this unit. Mangekyo Sharingan Kakashi. He was great for like a decent amount of time as a buffer. I remember people would use him pretty often, but he got overshadowed way too fast by other buffers and support units. So nobody really uses this character anymore. It's really sad because I liked his art, and I remember I pulled him like 8 days into his banner, and I had to spend some UR frags, but at the time it was worth it because I really liked the art, and he was a pretty good unit. T Datara, the character that got me into the game in the first place. I re-rolled for this character because I really liked his art, and I'm a pretty big Datara fan. So I was like, alright, cool. I'll try the game out, and here we are today. So I started like at the Datara Sasori banner, and he's still a really good unit because of his crit support. He has the AoE stun also. Of course, other T units might have more effects and better numbers than he does, but you still want to use him for the PvE modes like FG and ATB, because he can really support your tribe damage as well, and your other nukers too. So that's why I really like T Datara still, and people are still using him, and his art still looks really clean. Next up is Kid Kakashi. I had like this period where I was a huge fan of this character, and I still am, but I don't know if I still have space on my FG and ATB teams for him. I'm not using him in Arena anymore, even though, I made a lot of videos about he would be good, but I'd probably need a more T heavy build first before I'm using him in PvP. But either way, he's still a really good unit, especially for newer players who don't have all the T units yet, because he provides support on every turn that you're faster than the opponents. So if you use him in FG and ATB, you'll be getting non-stop buffs on each of your cells from him, so that's really cool. Of course, Nagato now does something basically the same but better, so you might want to consider using him instead if you have him. Alright, here we go. It's Shikamaru, my favorite Naruto character, and basically you want to use this guy for ATB, and he's basically one of the units you must have on your team. Now they've released Shikadai, who you can use instead of him and who's arguably better. So I do have Shikadai. I got lucky enough to pull him. And in the meantime, when I still haven't upgraded him yet because I don't have the frags, just using Shikamaru. And he's just a great unit. You can even consider him in PvP modes if you build right. That's kind of like the theme of some of these units later on in my account, especially the T units. So that's cool. And his vitality helps him out a lot too, but he's very T support heavy. Okay, so I'm going to be skipping a few more of these. Jugo, I'm using him for the tribe. Guy, I don't even know why I've upgraded him so much. I think I used him for an Ninja World tournament at one point, but I just got a lot of frags. Tsunade I'm using for Ninja World tournament alongside Sublime, like I mentioned above. SR Heavy is that event unit that was really broken when he first came out, and he's still really good. Almost a timeless unit, but not as good anymore. He has the status effect buffs, which at the time were unprecedented, and he has initial 5k jutsu. He has good defensive buffs for your cells as well, so that's why we like using SR Heavy. That's why I've started him up to 7, because I'm still using him in my PvP teams, and his art also looks amazing. So I remember when this unit came out, he was all the rage, and everybody was trying to get him to 6-star and more, and tons of people spent their awakening scrolls on him as well, which is pretty justified. Okay, Sai you need for every single game mode. He's like the main chakra generator of this game, and the game plays completely differently if you don't have Sai. So that's why you want to upgrade this guy as much as you can. And I just happen to have a lot of SR frags, so that's why I upgraded him to 7. You want to farm Sai. If you're a new player, first thing you want to do in the game is to farm Sai. It doesn't even matter what your other units are. You'll literally beat any other team that has better units but no Sai. Okay, so from now on, most of these other gold border units are not too important. Using Tobirama for FG and ATB depending on if the opponent's a T unit. T Sakura I use for Abyss. Suigetsu I use for Commander of Heavy Tribe, so Abyss. Yamato don't really use. Sakura Blossom's really good for any mode where you need a tribe gauge booster. So the Abyss mode is really good for her because she has to heal as well. So that's like a 2-piece. And then ATB, you might need tribe gauge boosters, so I use her. I don't have Aishirama, I don't have KLM. Mama Sakura used to be a really good AoE stunner. I don't use her anymore though, but at the time she was like really good. Tobi's actually really good, but I never... Oh, I have enough to 7-star actually. Perfect. So Tobi's still really strong. He has the good initial 5k vitality. You can use him in PvP modes. You can use him in the PvE modes also. It kind of depends on what units you have and who you're facing. So glad I made this video today because I forgot I had enough frags. And a lot of people 7-starred him as well. Okay, Boruto Sarada, using them for the ATB tribe. Tachi we don't really talk about because he's a painful memory for many, but I got lucky and I pulled him. But I remember people spending too much. Kakuzu was good for like a few weeks maybe. Gaara was the OG tank. Like the tank that everybody wanted because he was so good back then. This is a free unit. These two Zabuza I have for the frame. Haku kinda meh now, but used to be good for FGATB. Tigara is good for fighting opponents who are faster than you. Rev Sasuke or Revenge Sasuke isn't very good. B, good for Abyss. This is version 2, by the way. So yeah, really good for like Abyss and some other modes where you need tanks. Jiraiya's a tribe gauge booster. Neji, Hinata, meh, I don't really use them. Kisame I used for the Akatsuki tribe, that's basically it. Mitsuki, New Team 7 tribe. I don't even know why I've upgraded this guy. Don't use him at all. Darui you can consider as part of like a tank team or a cell for an individual tournament. Asuma, also more tank stuff, so you could use him in Abyss. There's just so many tanks, so just have your options open. Itachi I pulled really late, but he used to be all the rage, but he's not that good anymore. He's still alright though. Kiba's like the best R unit you can get. He has the Insta-Jutsu as well, and he can help you out in the PvE modes because he can provide some buffs if you're faster. So if you're a new player, you get this guy up. He's free, you just build him up and he'll carry you in the beginning. Choji, more tribe gauge booster. Shikadai I'm working on right now, and he's good for ATB especially. He can overshadow his father. That's a pun because I said shadow. And you want to get him upgraded if you can, because he'll just do better. It's just how URs versus SRs work. He's also power creep and he has more effects, and he doesn't just affect T units like Shikamaru does. So that's basically it. And as you can see, I've been playing for a long time and I don't really spend that much money in this game, so you can consider this like pretty much a free-to-play account. So this is where I am after 1.5 years. Around 650,000 power is my max power team. I could probably get to 700,000 maybe, and then I'll probably peak and not get any farther. So that's how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase. It actually ended up being pretty long, even though I didn't mean for it to be. So thanks for watching.